NBA All-Star Weekend, as we're going to recap mainly the game itself, because as you might have seen in the title of today's episode, NBA All-Star is back with a question mark and an exclamation point because we're excited. For years, we have been waiting for NBA All-Star Weekend to be revived. It's been damn near a decade since it was a must-see event. And I understand with how it's fallen on the calendar for several years now on Valentine's weekend, like a lot of people are out doing other things. But the game itself, the weekend, has been pretty stale for a bit. But for those of you who were tuned in on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, you see the hat that I'm wearing today. NBA on NBC. And man, I got to give credit to NBA on NBC because they seem to be the biggest ones who have revived it. Even when it comes to the pregame intros where there's actual packages going into these regular season games that play into the storylines and make you really give a shit about the Magic playing the Hornets in the middle of the season on a Tuesday night at 4 o'clock. And so NBA on NBC, they have just absolutely nailed it so far. And now it has trickled into All-Star Weekend. So, Kevin, I'm going to throw it to you first. Just what was your reaction to what we saw specifically yesterday with the All-Star game, but just the weekend in its entirety?
So I have been one to shit on the All-Star game, saying they should get rid of it, they should do this, they should do that. But because everybody knows that I am a huge LeBron James fan, and next year is kind of up in the air, I was seated the whole time. You know, everyone was talking about, is he going to make it? Is he shouldn't make it? It's in LA. I don't know if I'll see this again 22 straight years. First year, not a starter in that 22 years. So I was locked in, man. I wanted to see the format. And from the jump ball, you saw that Victor Wembanyama wanted to play. He wanted to bring it. So I'm sure we're going to talk more about that. But for us to meet him, us being the Americans, you know, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, they all said, all right, you want to play? Let's play. I love the idea. When I say the idea, I mean world versus America. We don't need to do 3 teams. I think if we just did world versus USA, would get the same kind of atmosphere because it was this good with Luka and the Joker playing 5 minutes, no SGA, no Giannis. They have enough guys to make it a 12 or 12, 13, 4, however many you want to play. They have enough guys to equal it out to just play 2 games because we saw 3 15-minute quarters and 1 overtime, I believe, 5 minutes. Just imagine if we could have seen that for 2 straight hours. The world is caught up. The level of talent is there. They have the guys. And this wasn't even their full team. So I would love to see them battle out for 4 quarters. And I get it, 15 minutes makes it a lot more competitive because back in the day, for 3.5 quarters, they do whatever. In the last 5 minutes, they lock in. But Victor Wembanyama is going to let it be known that we're going to play from the jump. And if we're going to have guys play from the jump, let's get more of it. And the other thing that I want to say about this is I don't understand how Devin Booker at 29 years old was on the young guys team. I was really weirded out about that because you see all these other old guys and you see Devin Booker. And it's funny because these young guys are bringing in the new atmosphere that we need. So a lot of the older guys were a part of the dead period where it was kind of just, it's All-Star Weekend. Who cares? We're not going to watch it. But these young guys are really bringing in that new energy that we need. And it starts with Victor Wembanyama. And everyone's saying he's going to have this Kobe-esque effect with the All-Star game because he's going to bring it. They shot 5 free throws last year, and they shot 3 in the first 3 minutes. So they're playing a lot harder. So it's going to be fun to see. And the only thing I'm going to say from Saturday's night's activities, the only thing that I saw was Damian Lillard played 0 minutes all season and won a 3-point contest. And I saw Jace Richardson try to do a 360 back off the backboard and land on his head. Everything that happened before Sunday, I couldn't tell you. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but the main event definitely showed up.
Yeah, you even had Shams, the NBA insider, playing in the celebrity game, and I believe he was 0 of 4. I think he was 0 of 3 from 3, 0 of 4 overall, 0 points. And it's crazy to me that he couldn't even get a single bucket, and I'm not trying to hate, But the reason why I am is because he dropped a full-on hype video beforehand, and it was clean as fuck if you have not seen it. But like for him to like pick up be on his phone, put his phone down on the hardwood, pick up a basketball, launch a three, cash, and then it just went into like him making shots and preparing for it. You can't drop a hype video like that and then give me a goose egg. I need 2 points. I would not be saying anything if he gave me 2 or 3 points. But to have a hype video like that and drop a goose egg, oh man, shams. Kevin, the only thing I want to say as a response to what you were saying before we pass it off to Alex is my only concern would be if they do straight up World versus USA, is that does that dilute the all-star field by saying we have to have 12 Euro guys, we have to have 12 Americans? Does that take an opportunity away from an American who you could have a guy like De'Aaron Fox, who was the last addition to this game? He hits a game winner in one of the games. And would you rather have, I don't know, I love my guy Lauri Markkanen, the finisher from the Utah Jazz, but Lowry wasn't there. Would you rather have Lowry there rather than De'Aaron Fox just because he's a European? That's the only concern I have is if you are shooting for strict, and if it becomes the norm where it's like, this is the format we're going with, sorry, not sorry, be one of the 12 best Americans. But that would be my only concern. And so before I give more thoughts on the All-Star game, Alex, I wanted to pass it over to you because you've been very patient. Just what was your reaction to the weekend overall?
Before you go, Alex, I just wanted to throw out here, we saw that this year. I mean, I know Alex is a Norman Powell fan, but Keontae George deserved a spot. But because Norman Powell's not in America, he got a spot. So, I mean, we saw it this year. We saw because he's a foreigner, he has to make it. So, I mean, yes, it's going to shorten a lot of guys, but there's also, we've seen it this year. So that's all I want to say.
Because Norman Powell deserves an all-star nod.
Keontae George averaging 26.
Oh my gosh, you're hating on my guy, who I said in the beginning of the season he should be an all-star, and he.
Yeah, and one thing I will add about that is like Norman Powell was born in San Diego, and they fit him in there by saying that he's yes, he was born in San Diego, and they fit him in there because they said he's of Jamaican descent. But it's like, born in San Diego, went to high school in San Diego, went to college at UCLA. He is SoCal through and through. And so, like, Karl Anthony Towns.
I would say Karl Anthony Towns, too.
They kind of wedged him in there saying, you're from the DR. Like,
at least he played on the national team. You know what I mean? I feel like if Norman Powell, if he could play for the USA team, he would have. You know what I mean? And so I think that is weird. I will say that. I do like the format. So I'll say this first. I did not watch Saturday. I'm not a big fan of the dunk contest anymore. I think the last time I watched it was like 2016. The 3-point contest is like a hit or miss for me. Maybe I'll tune in, maybe I don't. Or I'll just watch it online like afterwards. I thought it was weird that Damian Lillard was in it. I remember texting Kevin. I'm like, how is he in it? He hasn't shot a 3 this whole season. How can he win it? Anyway, but for the All-Star format, I loved it. I think the World versus USA was so entertaining. The only thing I didn't understand was the amount of players. So usually there's 24 All-Stars, but because you have 3 teams, I guess there's more All-Stars than. So like it was hard to say like who should have made the All-Star team, because I don't know how many people are on the All-Star team anymore when you have like this kind of format.
There were 25 All-Stars this year.
There's 25. Okay.
And also there was like 5 guys total who were hurt, so that factors into it too.
Yeah. Okay. Because then I also thought they should have had a 4th team, and that could have been like the Rising Stars. But
they did that last year, and everybody hated it.
Yeah, with the G Leaguers.
At least this rookie class, I felt like it could have been a little bit competitive. Like it's not like a USA or World. It's just whoever's like the best rookies or the second years, and then they play against the World or whatever. I don't know if it could have worked out. I didn't watch the Rising Stars game or anything like that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think this is probably what's going to stick. I think that, like Kevin said earlier, when Wembanyama really set the tone, Kawhi Leonard played out of his mind.
31 points in the quarter is crazy.
It's crazy work. Crazy. And he was like a bust. I mean, an all-star, like he didn't
No, yeah. He didn't originally.
Somehow he got a nod. So I'm kind of confused about that aspect of the format, but I do like the World versus USA.
Yeah, I do too. And then we ended up having like old head Team USA and the young guns USA. And then you had the kind of in-betweeners like a De'Aaron Fox on the old head team. And Alex, I'm really glad that you mentioned Kawhi Leonard, because that's who I really wanted to touch on and get in depth with. Because if you have Kawhi Leonard, arguably the face of load management, giving effort and playing really well in a glorified exhibition game, then I think the All-Star game is doing quite well at that point. Because to have Wemby come out and say, I'm here to compete, I want to show that I am the best. And you had Giannis's two sons just awestruck by Wemby. And then Giannis made sure to tell his sons, I'm better though. He's like, you're better than him. He's huge. And he's like, I'm better. Your dad is the best. He's better. And props to Giannis for making that clear. But you have a guy like Wemby who is coming out and setting the tone. Anthony Edwards, who won the All-Star Game MVP, he said that afterwards in his post-game interview, saying, Wemby really came out here, set the tone. We had to try and match it. That's what got us going. Then you had a guy like Kawhi getting hot. They kept feeding Kawhi. You had Steve Ballmer going absolutely nuts, just living in the moment and forgetting about all that aspiration, paying Kawhi to market trees, BS that came out from Pablo Torre earlier this season. Because that's something that, as Kawhi was going off and then they showed Steve Ballmer reacting in his arena that way, that's all I could really think about is enjoy this now, because shit's going to probably hit the fan in the offseason. But the point is that Kawhi Leonard is the guy who you expect to have 5 minutes like a Luka and Jokic. But for Kawhi to have the performance that he did, he doesn't win the MVP because the young guys, they just went absolutely nuclear in the championship game, and that's what gets Ant Edwards the MVP. But I loved it. I believe that it's back, and I'm happy. What about you, Alex?
I was going to say something real quick. Those warm-ups go crazy when I saw them. I was like, oh, wow.
Even the jerseys were good.
The jerseys were fire. But, the warm-ups, I'm like, okay. This is going on sale. I might have to cop the jacket.
What do you guys think about them going back to wearing their own jerseys? I think that would
love it.
I always liked that.
That's overstimulated for me. There's too many colors on the court.
Yeah. I mean, because then it's like, what do you do if they have people that, because you can't do the 3 teams, so you can't do black home and aways. So you do homes, Christmas, and so that would be kind of difficult. But I really do miss the days of scrolling through teams. I'll be like, oh man, they really used to wear their own jerseys.
Well, I just miss the different jerseys in general. I'm tired of the city editions having nothing to do with the colorway that they have now. I miss the nicknames on the back of the jerseys. I miss the Christmas
sleeves.
Cursive. Yeah, even sleeves. I didn't like sleeves, but just give me some variety. You know what I mean? I don't care about a lime green court or the NBA Cup. I want.
Yeah, that's hard to watch.
Yeah, that's a great point. I agree with that. I would love for the actual jerseys to be worn in the games, because you could have one team wearing their home whites. You could have the other team. The other team, Alex, is what's going to really overstimulate you, because you'll have the purple and the orange and the green and all on one team versus a bunch of players all wearing white. But I look at the MLB as a prime example of why they should do that, because in the MLB All-Star Game, they have them wearing their actual jerseys. And so you have whichever team is hosting. So if it's an American League team, you have all the American League guys wearing their home white jerseys, and then the opposing team wears their road jerseys. And so I would love that, Kevin. And also in regard to, as Alex said, the nicknames on the jerseys that we saw, was it in the bubble during COVID? Am I remembering correctly? Was it in the
No,
bubble that they
COVID
did
was
that,
the protest things on the back.
Oh yes. When did they do the?
Was that Christmas?
No, it was probably it was during like a weird like maybe lockout. It was like early 2010s. I feel like.
Okay. Okay.
Like King James. I remember that.
Yeah, Ray Allen. It was the movie.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah,
so it has been a while ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was Christmas. I'm not sure. I'll have to fact check that real quick. But yeah, that's a great idea. I feel like the All-Star game is a perfect time to do that. And just like you said, just give us some variety. I mean, to be fair, this All-Star game was fantastic compared to what we've seen in recent years. And so for us to start nitpicking like, oh, now they need to do this, now they do this, we are grateful. We are extremely grateful. If we get exactly what we got yesterday, I'll be satisfied every single year. But it's like, okay, we've risen the bar, NBC. Now let's keep making it higher and higher and higher. And then the last thing I wanted to say about the weekend is Damian Lillard coming out and like still being on the mend from a torn ACL and going out there and winning the 3-point contest, having it be his third 3-point contest championship in a 4-year span. That guy is just absolutely ridiculous. He won it back-to-back in like 23, 24, and now for him to win it in 2026. I was so happy to see him back out there. I'm glad that they let him compete. And I saw this on Twitter, and so forgive me if I got fooled by some AI or Photoshop, whatever. But one of the basketball pages posted, and I should have just instantly gone to his Instagram to fact check if it was real, but I saw a basketball page posted that Dame had texted Steph after the 3-point contest, and he was saying, hey, next year we need you in it, we need Clay in it, we need D-Book in it, get some other guys in there, and Konka Nipple. I would absolutely love that because it doesn't seem like we're going to get any variety with the dunk contest. So let's at least get it with the 3-point contest, because you can't, the risk of going out and embarrassing yourself in the 3-point contest is a lot lower than in the dunk contest, where you have a guy like Jace Richardson almost dying on the court. And it's like, kudos to him for putting forward the effort. And then we also saw Mac McClung. He posted videos of all the dunks that he would have done because they basically kind of excluded him, even though he's been the guy who's keeping it alive. So overall, I'd say All-Star Weekend was a win. How about you, Alex?
Okay, real quick. Something I like that idea. Hopefully that's not AI with like Steph and Clay and all of them doing it.
It was real. He posted on the story.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Thank God. I just didn't check it.
Because one thing I would love to do, maybe not next year, but maybe the year after, is because I remember they wanted to do like a Caitlin Clark and a Sabrina Ionescu in it. That would be so dope. That would be amazing. So I think that also could help. Just bring like more notoriety, especially on that Saturday. I feel like they got Sunday down, right? Like they just, like you said, like keep chipping at it. But Saturday is where, like, to me, next year, I'm going to be looking towards like, okay, how are we going to revamp this day? Because this day is not so great.
It was 2014 with the jerseys, by the way. Christmas, 2014.
Okay, so it was Christmas. Thank you for fact checking that, Kevin. I appreciate it. I figured it had to be a while ago for Ray Allen to be featured in it. But Alex, I love that idea to bring in 2 WNBA stars, especially 2 shooters like a Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark, because we saw Sabrina compete against Stephen Curry a couple years back, and like that was my highlight from the All-Star weekend, because Sabrina Ionescu is my favorite WNBA player. She's the reason why I got so into the WNBA in 2020 again, after I had kind of drifted away for about a decade because the Monarchs left or disbanded. But yeah, that would be awesome. And it would also just continue to use the NBA's reach and spotlight and put some more spotlight on the WNBA. But at this point, we don't even know if we're going to have a WNBA season coming up because of the collective bargaining agreement, and we will revisit that as it develops.